How's it going, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH after show. We're going to keep it short and sweet and to the point. Peter is dead. That's it. That's the video. Peace out. Nah, we'll talk about it. We are going to keep it short, but realistically, this is probably the only thing worth talking about anyway. When we last left off, Maxie had escaped Peter's clutches and made her way to a road, and a car was coming, and thank the Lord, it was, in fact, Felicia coming in for the rescue. That mother-daughter hug though, oh my god, so sweet and emotional. Meanwhile, Anna, Drew, and Dante were being absolutely useless, having a gunfight with a distraction because Peter had already left the house to chase after Maxie. He caught up with Maxie and Felicia and ran them off the road, and Maxie got out of the car and lured Peter away from Felicia because she was unconscious. He chases her into the woods again and fires his gun and demands that Maxie comes back to him, and she was like, I would literally rather die, Peter. Just shoot me. He was actually about to shoot her, but then Felicia comes in out of nowhere and smashes his head in with a tire iron. Felicia coming in for the clutch. And he falls off this weird looking ramp thing and onto the ground. Maxie quickly runs and grabs the gun away from him, and then Anna finally shows up and is surprised to see Felicia there, of course. Drew was there too, by the way. Dante stayed back at the house to keep an eye on the distraction. Peter was still alive at this point, by the way, and he was all, Maxie, I can't feel my legs. And Maxie's like, you literally tried to fucking kill me, you psycho, piss off. But you know, in like a daytime soap kind of way. And then he was all, I'm scared. And Maxie's like, and I'm leaving, bye. Like, I loved Maxie during these episodes. Anna had told Maxie, Felicia, and Drew that the ambulance was on the way and to wait up at the top for it. And in a surprise twist, Anna told Peter that she in fact did not call the ambulance and was just going to let him die. Literally the smartest thing Anna has ever done in this entire 4-year-long storyline. However, I am still giving full credit to Felicia, who did what nobody else could in the last 4 years. Anna watched him take his last breath and he died with his eyes open, y'all. Ding dong. Peter is gone. Anna and Felicia got a standing O when they got back to Port Charles, and Robert was offering the key to the city to Anna, but she of course was feeling guilty for failing Peter and ultimately failing everyone else after the fact. What I will say though is I have to give mad props to Wes Ramsey for just surviving playing this character, because honestly it's probably going to be the most mentally taxing experience of his life as an actor. In all the years that I have watched this show, I don't think I have ever seen a character more hated than Peter August. And it's not that we love to hate him kind of hate. People just straight up hated him. People hated seeing him on screen. People were even hating Wes Ramsey's presence on the show because a lot of people believed, whether it was true or not, that the only reason why the character was on for so long is because he's dating Laura Wright. And let's face it, Laura Wright has the most screen time out of any character on the show, and that probably pulls some weight with the powers that be. And for the record, for those of you that are wondering, Wes Ramsey is definitely off the show. He said goodbye to his cast members on social media, so he is actually gone, okay? I think the main reason why this villain didn't work with most of the audience, though, is because the writing was so incredibly poor for this character. So many beloved characters had to be dumbed down and written out of character just to keep this character on longer. And it became a 4-year-long pattern, and when something like that continuously happens on the show over and over again, you're gonna get a very angry audience. Nobody knows these characters better than the fans do, and some of them have been watching decade after decade after decade, and when they see a character like Anna Devane stupidly looking away from the bad guy at her cell phone long enough for him to jump off a cliff, or watching Anna hand over the only incriminating document to the bad guy and watching him burn it in a fire and not having a plan B or C, then of course fans are going to say that is not Anna Devane. That's not something that she would ever do. Anna has been a super spy for 40 years. She's not going to make that kind of mistake. So of course longtime fans are going to notice that. And on top of that, we are now more privy than ever to a lot of the sort of politics behind the scenes of soap operas. We know when characters are on contract or reoccurring or day players. We know kind of who they're in relationships with because of social media. We've also seen the trends of biasness between producers and writers and the relationships with the actors. So when you get a character as polarizing as Peter August with all the horrible writing, and you mix that with the fact that Wes Ramsey is dating an actress who has the most screen time out of anyone, you get a very, very angry audience. In my humble opinion, the best and most beloved villains are the ones that are reoccurring, that come on with a bang and they wreak havoc for a while and give the good guys a run for their money, and it's like a 6-month to year-long storyline arc, and then they get caught or defeated, and then they disappear for a couple of years and then come back later. You know, they're not on all the time. There shouldn't be a villain as evil as Peter August on contract every day for 4 years. Anyway, back to the plot. Maxie got to claim her daughter back this week, and she decided that she will keep the baby's name as Bailey and make Louise her middle name instead, because Bailey is what she's been called this whole time. On top of that, and here's what got me, Maxie decided that Brooklyn would always be called Mama Brooklyn, and that she would be called Mummy Maxie. And I was like, oh my god, and of course Brooklyn was so happy about that. The scenes were so emotional. I was actually crying, like, so heartbreaking that Brooklyn had to give the baby up, and of course she was devastated when she had to go out the door. Maxie and Brooklyn are going to be bonded by this situation for life. I don't see Maxie ever distancing herself from Brooklyn, given all that Brooklyn gave up to raise this baby for Maxie. So like I said, I am keeping this one short and kind of focusing on the Peter arc, but let's quickly talk about some of the other plot points that happened that are worth noting. Brooklyn and Chase finally kissed and it was adorable. Sean Butler is leaving the show. It was the actor's choice, but what a waste. Harmony made the choice to continue to lie to Willow and instead trying to hire a forger to forge Willow's birth certificate. Something tells me that when Willow and Michael finally get ready to go on the trip to Paris, Willow is gonna get arrested for having a fake document. I'm calling it now. Sunny and Nina kissed again after she rescued him from another drunken night, and later on, Carly and Drew found her at the penthouse with Sunny, not in bed together or anything, she was just there. And Elizabeth finally opens up to Finn about the strange and eerie occurrences that are happening around her, and Elizabeth decides to call Betsy Frank to meet up with her in town. I mean, surely Elizabeth doesn't think that Betsy Frank is just roaming around town doing this, right? What could be the reasons for why all this is happening? I don't really care as long as it's not DID, okay? But yeah, those were the plots. I'm sorry that I had to keep it short this week. It's just because of personal reasons, and I'm sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed this video regardless, and if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. Also, tune in this Wednesday for another GHMV Reacts. I don't know what we're reacting to yet, but we'll find out. Let me know in the comments what you want me to react to. Keep it classic, y'all. If y'all saw what happened last week, keep it classic, okay? Alright, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.